seduction, sex, lifestyle. For the true player at heart, Global SLR presents the real kings of pickup. Vince Hollywood Kelvin and Arash motherfucking Dibazar. Be the best and fuck the rest.
Welcome everyone, this is Vince Hollywood Kelvin, also known as Aphrodite's Prince. This is the first Real Kings of Pickup podcast of the year 2017. I'm here with my spiritual brother, the notorious Arash motherfucking Dibazar, and we're ready to help you into the new year with all aspects of your pickup and seduction, pure pickup like never before. So it's always an honor to be hosting these with you. Arash, how are you, brother?
Brother, I am on a new level of power and understanding, and I really am very excited about helping people. So I'm ready to go. How are you?
Spectacular, yeah, and I'm ready to answer questions. So, gentlemen, this is about being more social, about stepping up. One of the fastest ways to become more social is to seize every opportunity that you have. You're welcome to passively listen in the back, but being passive is not going to get you the pussy that you want. So we're ready to take your questions. Who would like to ask the first question of the evening?
I'll take the first question. This is Jackson. I was in an interaction in a club with a girl, and I kept it light and playful, which was a big step for me because I don't usually see myself as a playful person. But I kept it light and playful, but I think I may have been too playful, even though I escalated with Kino and everything. It seems like I ended up, like, not in a friend zone, but she saw me more as a friend. I didn't escalate sexually, I guess I can say that, put it that way. And so when you're being playful, is it more Kino that's needed to make it sexual, or what? Can you shed some light on that, how to make the playful interaction more sexual?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, then. How
often do you find yourself being playful in that way? How often?
And the way that I was being playful is natural, so it's pretty much all the time when I'm in an interaction with someone.
Okay, so you didn't do anything new then? You have a lot of interactions like the one that you describe?
Well, besides the Kino, I don't usually Kino.
Which you should, okay? Personally, I call it touch because that's what it is. Touch from the very start. I begin an interaction with at least the level of pre-touch. Pre-touch is when you move your hands a little bit more and you position yourself a little closer. You are not touching her yet, but it helps you to test how she responds to motion around her, and it makes her more used to it, because if you never move your hands, suddenly you touch, it seems that it's awkward. But if you're moving your hands naturally, nothing too crazy, then when you touch, it's part of what you do. So I think that you just got to do more of that. You just got to continue. One common pitfall for a lot of guys is they try one thing once, or they barely begun, and they stop to assess, oh, was I too much? Was I not enough? First, there's going to be times when you feel like you're too much and that's not enough. There's going to be times when you feel like you're too much and you were too much. There's going to be times when you feel like you're not enough, and indeed it was not enough. And there's going to be times when you feel like it was not enough, and it's okay, because different women will respond different ways. So don't ever worry too much about whether you were too much or not. If right now you line up 100 women and I talk to every one of them, you're going to have a variety of responses. Some of them are going to be, oh my God, that was phenomenal. Some of them are going to go, never bring this guy next to me again. He's absolutely crazy. And some of them will be in between. Okay? That's why there's lovers and haters. So I wouldn't worry too much about what was her take on it. For as long as it feels good, and feeling good at first should consist of do you feel like you did as much as you wanted to do? That should be your first mission before anything, to find more freedom to express yourself. So when you go home, there's one person who's pleased, you. And then don't be like an athlete that goes, okay, it's the beginning of the year, a lot of people are going to go back to the gym. Imagine the guy's finally back at the gym. He lifts one weight once, and then he sits down to psychoanalyze what he did. No, it's going to be off probably a little bit at first, but come on, get the momentum rolling. Next. My question would be, that was the other night, right? Couple nights ago, correct?
Right.
Okay. How many more women has there been since?
None.
You guys want to reach a level where you go, 10 minutes before the call, I was talking to this girl. Or you say, there's this girl that's here at my place. You know, I just took a walk outside. She's waiting inside my apartment. Now, I know you start somewhere. You feel good about what you're doing. You don't worry too much. You continue to study as much as you can. Next. And I know you're coming to Vegas. So over there, you're going to talk to hundreds of girls. Hundreds during that week in Vegas with all of us. I'll pass it to Arash.
Okay, so I saw the video of that girl, pretty girl, and I have two things to say about this, Jason, because I've seen your progress. Number one, I would not worry if the situation is not sexual. Okay, I have a few people in my life that I consider people that I wish I had their skills. And I have made it my business to reach their level or surpass it. One of those individuals is Milton Erickson. As great as I am with my language, I think I still strive to be like Milton Erickson. He's one of those individuals that I can tell everybody, go study Milton H. Erickson. And probably 1 out of 1,000,000 would understand him. And I would be that 1 out of 1,000,000. But there's a reason why I'm telling you this. A woman went up to Milton Erickson and said, you can't seduce me. He was an old man who could barely walk, by the way. And he said, well, you're very easy to seduce, actually. And she said, no. He said, look, if I was a young man, and I was, I might be butchering the story in a while. If I was a young man, dashing young man, and I came up to you and I saw you and I told you how beautiful you were and I asked you on a date, and we went out the next day and we went somewhere, I would tell you that I would not sleep with you. Until the 8th date, I wouldn't sleep with you. And he goes, on day 1, we would go and we would have a really good time and we would enjoy ourselves and we would have great food and we have great fun. And he goes, and then at the end of the night, I would say goodnight to you. And he goes, on the 2nd date, we would go out and you would feel safe because you know that until the 8th date, nothing's happened. On the 2nd date, we would go out and you would have even a more great time and you'd feel even more comfortable and we would be having so much fun going to different areas and exploring different areas of our city and having a good time. And he goes, and you still wouldn't have to worry about it because, you know, it's the 8th date that you and I would be having sex. And he goes, and he takes this, he goes, on the 7th date, so he builds this whole thing for her. He goes, on the 7th date, you would be so excited to see me because you know how much fun you were going to be having. And you know that somewhere there would be butterflies because by now all of your hormones would have been so ready for me to seduce you. And you would know that on the 8th date that I was going to seduce you on the 8th date. And on the 7th date, it would be the most exciting date you've ever had because every part of your body has secreted the hormones that it needed for you and I to connect on that level. On the 8th date, he goes, on the 8th date, I would drop you off and I would kiss you passionately at the end of the night. And I would say goodnight to you. When he had been done with that story, she was ready for him. And you have to understand, that is my method. That's how you seduce women at the level that I do. You don't worry about being sexual. A woman is designed to fall in love with you. A woman is designed to want to be seduced. She is the easiest thing. In 3 days, everybody, I have now 10 new women in my life because I decided I was going to seduce girls again. 10 new women, and if I went through the messages that are coming through as we're sitting here, nobody would believe it. Nobody would believe it. You don't need to you don't need to make it sexual yet. What you need to do is make sure she has a great time, she thinks about you, and she wants to reach out to you and be around you. All of that will equal to sex if you do it right. It's just everybody's so scared of just being a friend that you freak yourself out and the insecurity fucks you up. Insecurity is not productive. So that's the first thing I want to say. Secondly, I want to say is very important in that make sure you're not trying to go on level fucking 34 when you're on level 1. Okay? I saw the big success that you had. Success builds on success step by step. The fact that you had that great interaction with that woman, got her number, she was very pretty, and you really stepped it up. Good. The next step is not to be sexual with her. It's just not. You can do that, but I don't recommend that as a coach. I recommend step by step by step, build a castle that cannot be breached by the enemy. Simple. So why are you worried about not being sexual with her? When was the last time that you were sexual with a woman on that level? It may be never, it may be a long time ago. So why now? Because a woman gave you attention? Doesn't that sound amateur? Doesn't that sound weak? Doesn't that sound desperate? You know, go out and have more interactions the way you did with more beautiful women and keep doing that until that becomes extremely comfortable. Then the next level will be available to you. Those are my 2 suggestions.
We're ready for the next question, gentlemen.
Hey, I have a question, guys.
Yeah, what's your name?
Matt, how you guys doing?
Good, Matt.
Yes, I know Vince is called, I heard, he's called the kissing saint, that, and, Arash, probably, kiss a lot of girls and stuff. What would be some kissing tips for PUAs? Maybe something fun or just something like a good kissing strategy or something, like a different kind of kiss to do on the street or, with a girl. Sorry, I'm
going to give you even more.
Okay.
What were you going to say? You with all those people?
No, I'm at the mall right now, and I'm walking through the mall, and there's all these people around me. So.
Good. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
They're walking kisses. All those people are walking kisses. Okay. So first, you observe the tendency that most men who would want to take a step to kiss a girl have, and you reverse that. Okay? The guy will lean his head towards her. You give her a hug, but you look away with your head. Automatically, she'll be curious while you're looking away. So now you condition her to turn her head towards you, not away from you. Okay? I've opened one door. You guys pay attention to the tendencies of most guys, the way they want to go in, and they reinforce the dynamic of the guy takes a step forward and the woman takes a step back. I like to do it backwards. I like to go in the way a woman would do. So I give a poor hug. There's 3 main ways to give a poor hug. You get plenty from women. You know what I mean. First, you pull your butt away from her instead of pressing yourself inside of her. Second, you give her the hips instead of exposing your dick to her pussy. So you give her the hip towards her, and then you tap on the back, 3 little taps with the fingers. That's how women will hug a guy when they don't really want it to be sexual or lead to anything. From that place of the hug, you look away and you say something. You go like, something smells really good here. What is it? And just for smelling so good, you get a special little, and you slow down, and you notice if she pulls her body away a lot, you go pretend kiss. You send her a pretend kiss. If she's not moving, you plant a little kiss on her cheek, and if she's leaning in towards you, you briefly kiss her on the lips. Then you gotta have the proper mindset. Okay? It's never that it worked or it didn't work. It's whether or not a woman is ready to enjoy a kiss. So if you do something like that and the girl goes like, hey, I'm not going to kiss you, you relax your body. Always relax when they surprise you. If you don't exactly know what to reply, at least relax your body. You relax your body, you look at her, and whom do you blame? The guys always have the blame thing backwards. They blame themselves when they should blame the girl. They blame the girl when they should blame themselves. Okay? So right there, if she doesn't kiss, it's her loss. It's her problem, assuming the guy is not like doing it all wrong and super creepy. Okay? But assuming you sound quite sane. So then you playfully tell her, you're cute, but you're a little slow in the kissing department. We'll take our time. Of course, right now you can use the topic of, it's funny because for a couple of days around Christmas, everybody becomes like all suddenly nice, polite and wishing everybody Merry Christmas. And then they kind of forget, and then everybody gets like, woohoo, Happy New Year. And now they're starting to forget. Give it 24 to 48 more hours, people have forgotten. So you can bring that up as a topic, and you can say, I like to keep it on for a moment. So here's your special post-Happy New Year hug. Okay? Last, before I pass it to Arash, bring up the topic too. You can launch with a topic. I just went to the store, and there was this girl, and I looked at her. I go, you strike me as a good kisser, but sometimes I'm wrong. Are you? And she was like, what? Did I just hear you right? I said, yes, absolutely. Unless you have your ear clogged. I said, you strike me as a good kisser. Are you? Or I'm off with that. Notice how backwards it is. Do a lot of reverse frame. It's backwards. I'm not saying, are you a good kisser? I say, you strike me as a good kisser. I may be wrong. Now, if she goes, no, you're wrong, I'm a bad kisser, it still works to my advantage. Okay? And take steps. You get good at any aspect of your pickup. I'll pass it back to you in a second, but I want to say something for everybody. Okay. Check this out, gentlemen. It's always the same thing. I love what Arash said. I love everything. It's beyond love. There's no words to describe, I always say. But he mentioned you reach the next level. You go for one level and then the next one. Any next level, whatever it is for you. The guy's getting numbers and so on, but he's not kissing. He's kissing, but he's not pulling. He's pulling, but he's not betting. Okay? The problem is that when you reach the next level, like you, right now, you want to kiss more girls, you cannot be attached to false idea of success only. You got to be willing to take a step to study their responses. What's everything that a woman can do when you extend a kiss towards her? Okay? We assume you're appropriate. Some who are listening might not be, so we're not suggesting just grab girls and kiss them. But to get good, the next level, you got to be willing to encounter 3 types of responses, always. And you hear me say that again and again, Monday after Monday, because there's no escaping that. But as long as you're not facing that, you're escaping, and that's part of why you're not getting the results. Okay? Sometimes, boom, you're going to have a kiss. Sometimes it's going to be an in-between, a slightly awkward moment, a little miss-kiss, and so on. And sometimes it's going to be her going, no, I'm not kissing you. No, I don't like kissing, or I hate it when guys do that. If you have a problem with those 2 bottom levels, you'll never reach the top level. Okay? That's how you get really, really good at it. You were going to say something, and we need to pass it to Arash. So what were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, so you do a lot of cold reading, I noticed, that's pretty cool. And I just want to say the answer was...
Now, you did a cold reading. No, I don't do a lot of cold reading. You did a cold reading. You cold read, that's what I was talking about, was cold reading. Okay?
Cold reading. Okay.
That's not a cold reading. If you want there's a double bind in it. If you want the correct terminology, it's kind of a reverse question, and it's an assumption. Assumption.
Okay, nice.
Okay? You could do the opposite assumption. You could go, you struck me like the proper type would never, ever, ever kiss. You could do another assumption. You could say, and I bet your lips are total virgins.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
When you're learning,
gold, man.
Last thing, when you're learning, watch out, don't translate. There's certain disciplines of when you learn them, it helps you to translate. Here, take it as it is being presented to you, especially with us, because we are light years ahead of what other people are doing. Most people are not doing shit in this day and age, okay? And there's a lot of newbies coach that are rehashing what was said 10 years ago, And what was said 10 years ago has been left on the internet. You know, it's still out there. You can still like listen to W Dating, but the guy has not done anything for like decades. He's a marketer now. Okay, so don't pollute the purity of what we offer today with the jargon of yesterday.
That's good stuff.
Sorry,
man. Good
brother,
answer.
that was long, but he got me excited. You know how much I love kissing. So I'll pass it to Arash, and we can take the next question or add to this, whichever.
Hello? Well, I'll just give a slight perspective. It's quick. When it comes to kissing, someone says, how do I kiss better? You got to learn to read the vibe. Kissing for women is a vibe. If you could create the vibe, you can kiss her. If you can't create the vibe, take all the fucking techniques and skills you know, and the kiss is going to be shit. So it's a vibe. It's a look. It's a feeling. It's a distance. Okay? You have to create a look, a feeling, and a distance. That's the formula. That's the triangle. A look, a feeling, and a distance. If you have all three, you can kiss her. Okay? And everybody get on Diamond Mind, because I'm fucking your mind up right now, aren't I? You have no idea what I do.
I'm fucking missing
it. Yep.
Can you
So we take another question now. Thank you.
Thanks,
we take
guys.
another
Awesome.
question for Arash.
Yeah, I had a
thank
cool
you.
question.
I like your vibe.
I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We hear you.
Sweet.
All good.
Yeah, this one's for both of you, Arash and Vince. I know you two have very different game styles, and Vince, like I noticed you're more like playful, and Arash, I don't know if like I haven't really watched much infield, but I'm assuming that you're a little more serious. Is there like a formula of like what type of frame works most of the time, or how do you guys go about that?
I mean, that you have not seen me in set.
No.
Yeah, so you're wrong. You're 100% wrong. I'm the most playful thing you've ever seen in your entire life. Serious doesn't work in getting the girl. Everybody should know that. You can't get a girl when you're serious. And in regards to Vince and I having different styles, no, we have different strategies, but the underlying principles are very, very similar. That's why it works. For example, we're both very playful. We both control the woman's mind. We both touch a lot. We both, dance around her mind 1,000%. There's so many things. We both look a certain way where our look is very unique. Our communication skills are extremely high. There's a lot more in common than not in common. Whenever you go to an art form and you find the top people, if you find two basketball players, right, that are just really, really good at what they do, even though they have two different styles of playing basketball, they should have an underlying principle. They can all dribble the ball really well, shoot the ball really well, they can see the court really well, they can, that's it. So you guys got to find what is similar, and then what's different is just the difference between let's say a great white shark and a killer whale. They're not the same creature, but you don't want to be in the water with any of them. You know what I mean? But that's all I got to say.
It's interesting you mentioned that, actually, Kev. Another common pitfall is to want to assess what the person is doing. You cannot go to somebody who's mastered an art and want to play the expert and assess, because it's going to cause you to miss out so much. Throughout the years, people always try to put a label on what I'm doing. Years ago, they were like, oh, he's doing NLP. And now my stuff is NLP packed, but so advanced and subtle that I have sometimes NLP master practitioners who ask me, what about NLP? You ever do any NLP? And it's like, dude, you just witnessed NLP at its best right there. So, but now don't go think NLP or any of that. It's just an example. But I said it's funny you mentioned this, because the first time Arash and I, we shared the stage many times prior to that, but the first time we really got to do pickup together was a year ago in Las Vegas. And that gave birth to Pure Pickup, the DVD series, and the boot camps and so on. And personally, I was amazed at the commonality. Just like Arash stated, we both totally stand out in our own ways. The intensity. Both of us, right away, we started to talk to everybody around. So I totally think that we have many more commonalities than you know it. I think also, back to kissing, and then we take the next question. Women, they get aroused differently than we do. Us, what arouses us is we'll fantasize of the girl that would come straight up to us. No bullshit around it. Wouldn't you love that, guys? Honestly. Girl comes up to us and she's just like, I want to give you a blowjob right now. And she pulls your pants down. And I mean, most guys would still freak out, but deep down inside, we want women we don't want to waste time doing other things, right? For women, they like the edge, to just be on the edge, okay? So if you keep that in mind and you don't think, okay, I'm going to kiss, and like a guy, you go, whoa, it's time to kiss, let's kiss. But you just like give her that hug. She could feel your breath because you're close enough. And you play with staying on the edge of knowing that it could be, but it also could not be. Stay with that edge. It could be, but it could not be. And when women ask me, what really turns you on? I always tell them, it's that moment in time when you can tell that something's probably going to happen. But at the same time, there's no guarantee. It's right there. It's in between. Will it happen? Will it not happen? Am I going to get kissed? Am I not going to get kissed? Are we going to take this further? Are we going to keep it at this? And then I reverse the frame and I go, but don't make fun of me. I know it's pretty simple. And then I test to see how kinky they are. And I go like, sorry, I probably disappoint you. You probably thought that it'd be like, oh, I want to slam you against the wall. I want to shove my cock inside your throat. I want to suffocate you for hours at a time with my cock. But no, I'm simpler than that. To me, it's just, I'm a romantic. What can I say? It's just about that edge, just that unique time and space before a kiss. And sometimes the kiss never happens. And the longing stays with you and you take it home, wondering what the kiss would have been. Anyway, but you're cute for asking. Here, I'm going to give you a little kiss, a tiny baby one. Oh, you give good little tiny baby kisses. Are your full-blown out kisses good as well, or just the baby kisses? And see, that's a double win right there, because if she goes, oh no, just the baby kisses, I go, okay, we'll keep it at baby kisses.
The new year is right around the corner. We know you want better and more at all levels. But let's face it, the odds are not in your favor. And let's be honest, unless you remedy with all you got, it would probably be the same old shit, different year. So time to truly change. As seen on CNN, This Is Life with Lisa Ling, The Seduction Game, also featured on Sky TV with comedian Carl Kierperson, The Moaning of Life. The most potent, popular, and best priced 7-day training on the planet. The Initiation. Total manhood makeover for total social and personal success. Las Vegas. January 16th to 22nd, 2017. Led by true legend, #1 pickup artist on the planet, Vince Hollywood Kelvin, and revolutionary philosopher and best seducer in the world, Arash Dibazar, and the best healers on the planet, such as shaman James Hyman and occult expert Frank White. Imagine 3 days in the depth of Nevada's desert Alpha Camp to strengthen your survival skills, tap into your true warrior nature, and arise spiritually to harness powers you didn't even know you had. With board breaking, firewalking, chakra clearing, NLP, hypnosis for total success programming, and the most hardcore step-by-step military-style training to masterfully and flawlessly attract and bed the women you always desired. Then relocation for the following 4 days to the city that never sleeps, where everything goes, Las Vegas, Nevada, for around-the-clock pickup from nightclubs to malls, streets, casinos, including a visit to an adult convention. Expect only the very best results, not only with women, but in all areas of your life. Fuck excuses. It's your life and the clock is ticking. Accepting applications and registration now by going to www.vegasinitiation.com or call our 24/7 hotline 1-323-309-3219. But hurry, we work with a sliding scale and rates are subject to increase. So stop sitting on your ass before you're drawn into the abyss of excuses and regrets. Act now. Women and your new life are ready for you. Vegas, baby, Vegas. See you in Sin City for the real success you have been craving your whole life.
Next question, and we'll reverse. We start with Arash for that one.
Hey, Paul, San Francisco. Question, when you're on vacation, say you're in a resort-type area, what are some tips on how to go about things when a lot of people are on vacation, not everyone speaks the same language? Like, what's a good guide or steps to take?
Yeah, Vince, I'm going to have to pass it on to you. Paul, I really need you to learn game, brother. You're not learning game. You're getting ideas and going out there and trying to get women. I cannot teach you. Vince, it's yours.
Paul, you're asking the same question. It's amazing. Every week you're asking the same question. Okay? So you got to re-listen to the answers you got before. But here's what's going on. Okay? You're very concerned. You're extremely concerned that something could happen. So this week I'm going to give you a question. Okay? I want you to take a journal and write down so you can report what is it that you're afraid could happen. What is it? And, I'm not making fun because maybe we'll detect that there was a traumatic experience at some point and we'll help you to release it and so on. Maybe you'll do a work with Frank or something. But what is it that you're afraid could happen? Make a list of what is it that you're afraid. Because all of your questions, they always are based on a presupposition that you need something very special for that specific situation or that girl. And we can tell it's because you have a concern. Okay? So wherever you are, as Arash says, presence is one thing. But if you observe people at work, there's people, you've seen them working in the same old fucking place for 4 or 5 years, but they still know nothing about the place because they just show up and they have a reservation. There's some reluctance. They're not giving in. They're not turning around. They're not asking the right questions. Their body is there, okay, but they're not. It's a reservation, okay? So this year you need to really surrender and to also be willing to be uncomfortable. And a resort is a perfect place. All places are perfect, but it's perfect because people are looser, especially a vacation around a holiday like we just had. If people don't speak the language, then you go. What do you speak? It's so simple. But you're not even reaching that place because you still obsess about a concern. So do the assignment that I'm giving you, which you're probably not going to do, okay? Because you hear a lot of answers, but they pass right by you. What is it that you're so concerned about? And if you want, I'll even be inclined to take this further next Monday. What are you so concerned about? And meanwhile, next question, and we pass it to Arash.
Yeah, hi, this is Chris. I got a question about that. I was reading something, and it simulated this thought that there's like a time between when we hear the information and when we decide to act. And, I'm really interested in how can I reduce that time? I get the information, the environment or whatever's happening, job or with women or whatever, and I decide to act. How can I reduce that time and, decide to act? That's the name of it. Thanks.
Who is this again?
Chris. It's Chris, man. Yoga Chris.
Is this Chris? I was just going to tell you, brother. I got your text, and I was in the middle of trying to heal my body, and I just remembered. So that's fucking awesome on the text. Let me just acknowledge the text, okay? I'm excited to see what the fuck you came up with. Outside of that, the answer is something that I wouldn't, but I would imagine asking that question to a yoga master. So if I threw the question back at you, and I said, look, I come across this and this and that, and I want to bridge the gap between application or getting your job done, what would you tell me? I'm curious. Because it seems like somebody with yoga would have some insight on this. What would you say? Wow. Is there any advice you have?
I would say you either know or you know not, and either there's more information needed or you already know what your decision is. Okay, I don't know. It's hard for me to answer you because I think that you have enough. I think you have enough information
and wisdom to answer it yourself. So I'm going to back out of it and just throw the question back at you and then hand it to Vince.
I'm not going to answer the question for you, Chris, because you heard, yeah, for you. For everybody else, there is a gap. From the moment we make a decision, we come across new knowledge and the integration of it. To speed up the time that it takes, just be aware of the gap. One thing that will always slow down your progress is when you think that there's something wrong. So let's say a guy hears today, okay, one easy way to start a kiss is to start to give bad hugs. In the worst case, the girl, oftentimes they say, well, that's a bad hug. Give me a real hug. So now that's the woman that's being forward with you. Now, there's many of you guys, as much as you would love to do that, you're probably going to walk around and forget about that. So that's why you need a lot of repetition. You need to hear it again, hear it again, hear it again. So the old study, you need to hear it 7 times before you have a recall of it. Then you're going to have the recall, and you're probably not going to act on it. In that moment of not acting on it, that's crucial. That's the difference right there. If you draw the conclusion that something is wrong and you go proclaim everywhere, my problem is I know what to do, but I'm not doing it, you're going to miss out. It's going to slow you down. It's going to frustrate you. What's better to do? You go, okay, now I'm aware of what to do. I'm not doing it. It's going to come. It's okay. Encourage yourself. Support yourself. And you go through those 4 levels. This has been heard many times. Maybe some of you guys are new and we assume you have the basics and you don't. You know, you don't know that you don't know. You know that you don't know. Then you know that you know, and then you don't even remember that you know because you do it automatically and unconsciously. Yeah? To go fast through that, know that it's normal. It's the learning curve. And always keep in mind also the learning curve in anything speeds up. For long period of time before a child takes a step, first few steps are super shaky. After that, there's still trial and error period. But once you know how to walk, you know how to walk. So the learning curve is always like going back up. Okay, looking at the time, we take maybe 2 more questions. This is a good time also to very rapidly remind you, gentlemen, that Las Vegas is coming up. And it's on the 16th of January to the 22nd. It's the 8th year that we're doing it. It's called the Initiation. It's a program like no other. It's the mother of all boot camps, 7 entire days. First 2 days are in the desert. It's Alpha Camp. You will walk on fire, tune in with spirit, break boards, go as deep as needed within your consciousness to realize that you can, will, and have everything that it takes to be successful. Then we merge to Vegas. What's very unique this year is that Arash is there, 2nd year with me. I am there, of course. I created the program. And Frank White is coming all the way from Germany for it. Kevin, the pimp, is there as well. James Hyman is there. And Brian Casella is there as well. And Pablo is coming as well. So it's unlike never before. On top of that, a lot of bonuses, you know. Chris will be teaching yoga as well, and so on. 7 entire days. That's unlike anything you've ever experienced. You'll be on fire. You'll feel it for the entire year after that. Okay, contact us to be there. It's right around the corner. It's an absolute must. I know Jason is coming. A lot of you guys on the line are coming, and there's also some guys. I really appreciate that, you know, because it's all about how resourceful you are. There's a couple of guys that have stuff in the making. They're going to carpool, even though it's a little bit of a stretch. It's a little bit out there. They're going to carpool. Then they're going to get a hotel room and share it, a whole bunch of them. I like that. That's how I first got started, you know. Whatever it would take. I mean, I would even hitchhike to go to hear a lecture or something. So I encourage you to adapt that mindset because it's the adventure. You make it there, you will make it for the rest of the year. Make it there, you'll make it for the rest of the year. Meanwhile, 1 or 2, if they're fast, final questions of the evening.
This is Jason again. My question is, it's a simple question. I kind of have answered to it already, but I want your take on it. How can I tap into my how can I word this? Untapped potential, because I've been getting this a lot lately, and it's been coming up a lot in my life. Like people saying that they see this like great potential in me, and I see it too to a certain extent. And I know there's some form of it that I haven't tapped into yet. And is there any way that any techniques or things that I can do to tap into it even more, to bring out the best that I have and just produce more?
Are you on Diamond Mine still?
Yes.
Okay, that's my answer. Anything else, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It's like one of those questions, how do I improve when I'm improving? That's what it sounds like to me, you know what I mean? How do I improve while I'm improving? How do I get better while I'm getting better? It's a self-defeating question. You know, how can I reach my potential while I'm reaching my potential? You know, that question will drive you insane. You know, it'll give you 1,000 different things. You know, you're on Diamond Mine, you're on this phone call, you're improving every day, and you're reaching towards your potential. And the question is, how can I better reach towards my potential? I don't know. How can you? What if I asked you that? How can you? What would you say? You know what you're doing. I don't know if you're giving it everything you got. Are you giving everything you got?
Am I what?
Are you? Are you giving it everything you got? Are you holding back? Like, are you capable of doing more or no?
I am capable of doing more, and I think that's my answer.
Okay, well then that's the answer I would give you. If you think you could do more, then you got to do more. But you're already reaching for your potential by doing this. Obviously, the stuff you're doing. You know what I mean? Like if I was lifting weights and I said, "How can I lift more weights?" I mean, you just lift more weights, and then someone would say, "Well, are you fucking around while you're in the gym?" I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, then don't fuck around when you're in the gym, dude." But what else can I do? Anything more I do is a self-defeat. You know, there's only so much you can do at the gym. You're watching my body change, right, Jason? You've seen what I look like before. You see what I look like now. You see a difference? Right?
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Huge, right? Like way different. And I told you guys, no one is going to believe it. This March will be 1 year. And then when I actually tell people the secret, I'm going to tell them. And they're still not going to be able to do it because they can't understand how simple it is. But I'm showing everybody. I'm showing them. And so sometimes, you know, it just becomes self-defeating. If you do too much, it's too much. Like you have to allow things to assimilate, and you have to allow things to happen. Just like, you know, you go out and you get this incredible interaction with this beautiful woman, and then it's like, oh, but I didn't make it sexual, and she wanted to be friends. That's fantastic, man. Go get 10 friends like that. See if you got 10 girlfriends that look like that, and watch how many powerful men want to be around you suddenly, and then use those powerful men to go fuck some chick. It builds on itself. If you hit me up and said, Arash, look at these girls. They're all my friends right now. I got 5 of these hotties. You think I could fucking come down to San Jose and hang out with you for a day? I'd be like, fuck yeah. Are you kidding me? Bring them home for sure. And then you use that and you hit up some other bitch. You go, hey, I'm going to go hang out with this guy who's got this, and that. Look at him. Look him up. Look who the fuck he is. And that's my boy right there. I'm going to go visit him. You want to come to California and visit for a day? She says, yeah. You say, I pay for it. You call me and say, can you put me up in the hotel if I bring these 5 hoes? I say, yeah. Next thing you know, you got some bitch coming with you. And you're going to be fucking her. But, you know, that's how I do things. I just see it build on top of itself. But anyways, I didn't want to go that far. I'll pass it on.
You know, this brings up a very good point, gentlemen. You have to be careful, the blueprint, the matrix that you're still carrying with you. Okay? You fit in one of the following categories. The guy's been trying for years and he never really had a sense that it was happening for him. And he's under the impression, almost like a spell, that something is missing. Now he's doing the work. Now it's happening. Okay, it's time to drop any sense that it's not happening, to fully exist into it's happening right now. That's when you're doing the work. Okay? Now, you have the guy that didn't even begin the work because he got so desperate. And once in a while, this little burst of hope, you know, I notice we have more colors tonight. Okay, beginning of the new year, you see people step up a little bit briefly because they feel like, maybe here's a new chance, a new beginning. And the guy comes in, but he's got a sense that it could never happen for him. Okay, so that's another one. You drop that. Of course it can happen for you. Why would you be so fucking special? It's reverse ego right there. And the last one is the guy never really took any steps outside of what he's doing. What he's doing is all right. I mean, he's got a life that's not constantly collapsing, but there could be so much more. But now he's got the cockiness syndrome of never looking outside or, okay, what else can I do? You know, every time I mention what I do to some guys who already have some girls, you know, they go, yeah, maybe if you need a teacher, you can tell me. And then I look at the fucking guys and I look at them with their girls and I go, oh my God, you got so much to learn. Yes, you're not here at a place of desperation. You know, you already got a few pieces on your plate, but see, it's still a crappy meal and you still don't know how to fucking eat. Okay? So be careful. Ask yourself, what imprint I'm carrying. And then also what I like to do is to reach out into the realm of infinite potentiality and just get ideas over there. Enter it with your hand like it's a pussy and pull something out of it. Go, okay, I'm going to reach today for all the ideas I haven't had. Boom, pull them down into this realm. But at the same time, I'm looking at the time and a couple of very quick things. Number one, we do have more callers tonight. We had a couple calls, including the one we have of the Dark Alumni Society on Wednesdays, where there was very little attendance during the past 2 weeks. Now everybody's back at it, you know. So remember, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. The guy that will get more than anybody else this year is the guy that can show up no matter what. Okay, like a marathon. Keep it steady. Don't be like all those people who are going to run for like a week and a half, yeah, and then it'd be like a wimpy erection. No, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, every Monday, every single class, join Diamond Mine, join all the programs, be steady, go for it, think long term, think a whole year, okay? A whole year of being steady with that stuff, wow, you'll be answering the questions afterwards. There's almost like, cousins, I would say, of this podcast. There's the Dark Alumni Society every Wednesday, same number, and there's a new one that's starting with Brian Casella, so you guys make sure you check them out. And Vegas is coming, you know that. And last announcement, I just released 2 brand new programs. According to a guy who has all my material, he said, by far, Vince's best material up to date. It's so precise and so on. With the holidays, they went a little bit unseen. If you didn't check them out yet, there's 2 of them. One of them is called Aphrodite's 11 Laws of Lust. It's principles that they are not from this world. So when you hear them, it's a big revelation. It's not like the stuff you heard. It's an absolute must, okay? This will help you to rebalance because you're lusting over women, so it's not attractive. You want them to lust over you, but there's a lot of rewiring that needs to take place. And the second one is the 8 elements of extreme sex appeal, inspired by Jimmy Dean, the actor, and this will really help you to carry an auric feel that's very sexy, despite your looks or any of that, okay? Those 2 new programs, get them. And thank you, brother. As always, priceless.
Thank you, brother.
And thank you, guys. Next week, next Monday.
You've been listening to The Real Kings of Pickup with Vince Hollywood Kelvin and Arash motherfucking Dibazar. Brought to you by www.globalslr.com. Call live every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to get your questions answered. Just dial 701-801-1220. Then enter 129-779-160, followed by the pound key. To get your free pickup starters kit, go to www.seductioncoaching.com now. And remember, stay sexy.